document, there's a legal document, you can sue me, so that is protect you. Second, for the auditee is also you need to be sure that nothing is leaked out from the auditors, so that is for auditee. Okay, for us internally, we may not sign NDA because internal activity. However, okay, do not talk about anything that you find during tea, during coffee. Okay, we always, this among ourselves, we are all friends, and then you audited the guy and you found something non-compliant, you keep talking during the coffee time or coffee table. No, you have to keep it confidential. Why? I just a friend, say Billy is my friend, so I just talk about him, nobody, so Billy also will not be upset. No, because first, the person you be auditing will have no confidence on you, you keep the thing confidential. Secondly, is also people look at you auditor kept telling things around. So people have no trust on you as auditor, which you have to be independent. Your job is looking at the company system. Then people lost trust on us, people lost respect on us. And people say we just try to go audit, finds out problem and telling the problem to people. We are not objectively trying to solve the problem. So please keep things confidential. Only to your accountable manager. That's only the person you can talk, because you have to report direct to him, not to others. Audit behavior. Okay, you must have, like I said this morning, I was telling you, you must be a person with high EQ, emotional intelligence. Okay, audit behavior is objective. You must be objective. It's not trying, you have to have clear your mind, go to the place where you want to go for the audit, just with the thinking of trying to make the system efficient, try to find which area which is not efficient, you try to find out, you try to recommend for the improvement. Not with the mind say, that place is worse lah, that one the guy or the person or the unit say this is worse lah. They always they always make component, repair component, or rejected. So I want to go there and find out who are the fault, who are the one to be blamed. No, it's not. You have to be clear from that. Second, impartial. That's also impartial. Impartial means you not preempt, do not make any thought clear about mind. Your mind have to be clear. Not been thinking that you want to punish someone, you want to look for someone's fault, you want to blame someone. No, you must be impartial. Okay, clear it. Ethical. You must be ethical. Ethical means you are auditor, you behave like auditor, not like a policeman, not like interrogator. So you must be ethical, you're ethical as auditor. You must back to the first thinking, you're auditor, you're trying to find problem which you are trying to recommend for improvement, for the system to be efficient, for your company to make more money. Open mind, again, you have to be open-minded. Any criticism, not to criticize anyone. Diplomatic, you have to be courteous, you have to talk politely, you have to say, okay, maybe the best auditor, I just a colleague of mine from CA, is very good. He's just very courteous, say, just like a friend, come sit down and say, what's your name? Anak berapa? Dah lama kerja sini? So that kind of thing. So you have to be, try to be friendly, develop the relationship first. Observant is you are looking at things according to checklist. You follow checklist strictly, but also you must observe other things. You must observe, you must smell, because smell also tell you about the environmental issue. Observe also, you look at how, whether they use a proper tool, whether they use the process of doing the work according to the steps required. So you must be observant. You must be also, if it's possible, you smell things. You also must be reading their thoughts. mean that whatever they say, and you have to think whether they are talking about the truth or they just try hiding something or they are fear to say something. So that is something you can observe. Maybe you can see this guy trying to hide something. Maybe he fear about his bosses just sitting behind and he do not want to tell the truth because the boss are there. You are able to see that situation if you are observant. Perception. You should have some perception issue. Not perceptive mean that you trying to gauge the situation. Yeah, because if you find non-compliant, not necessary because they are really happy to not to comply. Yeah? Maybe you can see the person or do the some step has always been missed. You go to the paperwork, you can see the step are missed. Your perception could be this guy have not got a proper training. It's not just he does not want to do, he just want to avoid the step. He just want to bypass the step. Not that kind of perception the guy is bad. The perception that you must have is, okay, the guy may not have a proper training, proper exposure. Then you dig further by looking at their file. Versatile. You have to be versatile. You could be an auditor, you could be instructor, you could be a coach, you could be advisor. Okay, so you must be versatile. You could be also the person who are able to understand the mechanical of the thing they do. So that is versatility. Persistent always stick to the point. Stick to the point means you're asking about the say record. I said I want to see the record, and the person said, oh, the record is somewhere with HR and I cannot give it to you now because HR is having it. HR don't allow. Say because you want to see his competency, you want to see the evidence he's competent. You must have the persistence. Say I want to see the record now. Please bring the record. I don't accept that you have excuses. The record is kept by someone else. Whatever it is, I need to see the record. Please bring the record. Because for the other agency, I mean for the certification body, for the quality standard, if you're not able to bring a record within half an hour, it could be NCR level 2. Because you can say you are unable to access the record or difficult to access the record. So persistent. Whatever you need, persistent. Yeah? So for example, they say you go for calibration. You want to look for calibration record. Oh, the calibration record was missing. It was misplaced somewhere. Is it calibrated? You see there? Is calibration there? You see the sticker there is calibrated. You don't have to look at the record. It's calibrated. No. You must be persistent. If you want to see the record, say yes, bring the record. I want to see it. I don't care the sticker calibrated or not. I just want to see the calibration was done. There's a record that sticker was put in after satisfying the calibration. So that is persistent. Decisive. Decisive, you must, like I say again, that's a decisive. You say you want to see the record, please bring the record. Say you can say the guy say the record is somewhere or we miss it, but the records are there. Say okay, never mind, leave it. I can accept that without seeing the record. No. You must have decisive decision. Say you want to see the record must be there. If they are able to produce record there and then, at least before you debrief in the afternoon or start the next day, they must bring the record. Self-reliant, you should be on your own. So you have to have the confidence to be on your own. You have to work on your own. Sometimes you end up working alone. You end up interviewing the CEO. Or end up also race car on CEO. So you must be self-reliant, not depending on others, especially when you're facing those higher management. Act responsibility ethically during the disagreement. Okay, if you have disagreement in confrontation, do not fight. Do not verbally fight. Do not abuse. Do not use abuse word. Stay calm. Stay calm, be persistent, be decisive. So do not enter into argument. Even though sometimes we are human, after so many excuses, you got upset, you become hot, you also want to throw things around, you also want to throw abuse word. No, you must come back and think, I'm auditor. My point here to come here is to find the problem, to determine what is the problem and how to fix the problem for the organization to be efficient. So just keep cool. Open to improvement. So open to improvement. If they say, okay, for example, record again, and they say, for example, tool control. I say, oh, I don't have shadow board. I don't have database or tool you record, but I do have a system where we use RFID. You bring a scanner and then I can identify the tool, I can record the tool, which tool are missing, which tool are available. So the standard does not say that you must have whatever system. It's not fixed. Doesn't say you must have database, doesn't say you must shadow board, doesn't say that you must control the tool manually. But now the element of tool control is there because RFID tagging will be able just to bring the scanner, determine the tool numbers, where they are. You can bring around the aircraft to see whether any tools are left around the aircraft. So open for improvement. So mean that if the thing are not in the standard, but there are people, or there are organizations which proposing or introducing something which is equivalent, meet the requirement, then you have to open for that. Culturally sensitive. So this is very important. Culturally sensitive, especially in Malaysia. We have many races. We also have many religions. So do not get into point name calling of the race, name calling of religion, or anything sensitive to religion, sensitive to the race. Please avoid. And in addition, also please avoid politics. Anything to do with politics, any statement to the politics, avoid. Do not get into that. And collaborative. Collaborative means that if there are problems, they may ask you a recommendation. You may be having experience in the area. They may be asking you what is the best to solve this problem. So you could be providing input or suggestion, recommendation for them to be able to satisfy their requirement. First is end up easier for you to close the NCR because they know what to do. But just bear in mind, do not quote. Okay? Do not quote. Please stay very clearly. Do not quote that I ask you to do this. We have discussed, you ask a recommendation, you recommend, and I propose. But do not say, the auditor say, you have to do this to close it. No, you have to break from that thinking. So that's collaborative. Then methods. Okay, again, methods I have discussed this morning: interactive, non-interactive, interactive on-site, interactive remote, interactive on-site, non-interactive on-site, non-interactive remote. Very interesting now, even the CCTV can be used as a point for you to do the audit. I think it's very good because if you got the snapshot of CCTV, you will be able to see whether the people are following the instruction or not, following the procedure or not. That is something that nobody can lie because the CCTV is basically showing what has been done during that period. So it's very interesting to say that CCTV can be used. Drone can be used. So drone can be used. A friend of mine is asking me, he has doing maintenance work for a facility, and he wants to monitor the person doing the work, where they are, whether they're really working or not. He want to let drone fly over the area and to observe how the people work. So whether they just always go lepak and relax and clock in, clock out without doing any work. So they use the drone. So we can also use the data, the same data for you to see compliant. The guy is looking using the drone to look at whether the person working or not, whether his workers working or not. We are looking at the same footage of drone, we can look at whether they are complying to the procedure or not. Then pre-audit. Pre-audit, what you need to do? So you have to plan. Okay, the plan. The plan of activity for the audit. So obviously, if you are doing the audit in organization, you must plan what you're going to do, date, who you want to meet, and again, like I was telling you this morning, you have to set the objective, you have to set the scope, you have to set the criteria, you have to set the methods of audit. So plan to cover audit, scope, criteria, location, audit method, role and responsibility of audit team members. You may come with 3 person, you must define who are the audit leader, who are the auditors, and where are the area they're going for. Record. Write down all the facts. Okay. Like I said, I've been following Sirim. They have the practice, they write everything down. Everything they write down. Every word, every statement, every person they meet, they write down. It's very good because after the end of the day, we always forgot. Sometimes we miss the fact. We miss the fact, we write wrong car or we write wrong report. It's not, okay, wrong report, wrong car, fine. However, we did not capture the problem. We missed the important problem. We missed the important issue. So, write everything down. Some people having the practice of make copies of the non-compliant document. That is another way. But personally, myself, I did not. I don't do that. I don't like that because a liability on you. You may be holding document which is quote unquote. If you are working on sensitive document, maybe under OSHA, under Official Security Act (OSA), or you are not signing of any NDA, you may have you're possessing a document which is not legal for you to have. So normally I did not copy, especially for external facility, bring it out. That's even, I don't do that. I just cite it, I just make reference and write down the document number, the pages, the detailed document. But some people make copies, that's fine. I'm not preventing that. I'm just for my own practice, I did not do that. If you want to do it, yes, you can do it, but do until you write the report, and once you complete the report, just leave it there, leave it at the facility, or leave it to that department. So write your words and sentence to be legible yourself. Okay, you must write properly, you must make sure you record things properly. It can be readable later on. Otherwise, you may be at the end of the audit, you may read something else. You may get into the wrong information. Okay, audit activity. Meetings. First thing you need to do, you have to do the meeting. Like I said this morning, you have to meet the auditee. You have a meeting, maybe a large group if the department is large, or maybe just a section within your organization. It's just one man. Even though one man, you have to have a meeting, formally meet him, and record all the discussion, put in the minute. It has to be official. Okay. Then introduction, daily debrief. You may have to do for daily debrief, but if there is things so simple, you may also explain, say daily debrief is not required, and you may be debrief at the end, only final debrief. And follow-up action. Okay. So all meeting to be minuted. So anything you discuss during the meeting must be minuted. So introductory meeting. So you must have the proper conduct. If possible, the CEO is there, and you have to explain the objective, scope, and criteria of the audit, and also the method audit. So the best is higher management is there. Maybe the CEO don't have time, maybe he's somewhere, but at least someone at the higher level to be there. You also have to explain everything is confidential, and you introduce your team, who are the team leader, who are the team members, and what are their role. And then you go through the schedule, the itinerary, and then you request a facility. If you are doing external audit, you may request for meeting room, You may request for a printer or request for a place for you to have a meeting among the auditors, and that is something that you need to, something that will help you to complete the audit. Ethics conduct again, dress accordingly, use polite language, compose and patient, be a good listener, be comfortable. So be good listener is one thing. It's very difficult for us to be a good listener, and not many people having that skill to be a good listener. But good listener is a must for auditor, because if you are not good listener, you will not be able to capture the problem. So please, we have to change that. We have to develop that skill. Ethic in conduct. Okay, again, not to be disclosed to others, remain within the organization parameters, avoid photocopy confidential data, finance record which are not related to the compliance again. And most audit, if you audit in American-based company, there is export control. Export control, there is a regulation where you cannot bring anything out, you cannot take photo. If you want to take photo, you must ask for permission. So do not just bring camera and take photo. You must ask. Even though you are doing audit, you think you are big, you can do anything you like. No. You must respect the company policy. Yeah? If you really want to see the document, even though confidential, you must ask politely to view it. To view for look for any non-compliant, if necessary. Avoid going to a confidential area. If the thing is confidential, not related to your audit, please don't go. Not necessary. Yeah? Avoid personal matter. That is another thing. Nothing personal. Interview code of conduct. If you do interview, when interview, remember that exactly this. Okay, interview. Okay, remember when you do interview, interview is interview, not interrogation. Okay? What you need to do, basically, you try to establish the fact, not try to incriminate others. So what your interview is basically for the purpose of establishing the fact. Prepare for interview question. Do not just simply go interview. You have to prepare the question, because the question should be related to your objective for the interview. Yeah? If you are auditor, there is another audit against you. In fact, for example, Sirim is the auditor. There are audit against them because the UCAS is the authority giving the approval to be the certification body. So it's audit against them. Similar to you, it's audits against you. For you, for 145, for example, it's DCA will audit you. So make sure you are, you go for the interview. If I audit you and you say you interview your CEO, I will ask, what is the question for an interview? I will map your interview question to your objective for the interview. If not, then you are not achieving the interview process. Be open-minded, not to find fault, punish a person, prepare for the interview. What question? Yes. Repeat the answer. If they are say